everybody, Cannabis Guru, and I got a quick flower update for you. Right now we're looking at one of the G13s, or supposed G13s that came out of the seed pack that I got from Rocket Seeds. I kind of doubt that this is a G13. It doesn't match the description, and it looks nothing like the one that I've gotten today. It does match the description. But besides all that BS, she's flowering out pretty nice. Sorry for the in and out. I wanted to show you guys some stuff. They're about the size maybe of my thumb, maybe, you know, the tip of my thumb. They're not very big, partially because the plant's small, and then the other reason is I've been having to run my lights at, like, last couple of days been at 5% for red, white, and blue for all three channels. That's ridiculously low power. It's working, but I'm not getting any size, you know, increase at all. But I did look at the trichomes today. They're starting to turn opaque, milky, however you want to say it. I've messed that up in the past. I confused amber with opaque. So if you ever see that video, that's a fuck up on my end. But yeah, there's some opaque trichomes in there, and then, you know, a good amount of clear. They were flipped on May 1st, okay? So I think I got it marked down on my phone. I can't actually look at that right now while I'm doing this video, but the last video I did was day 45 of flower. I'm gonna let these run to like 60 to 61 days is when I plan for them to be harvested, around 60 to 61, depending on how the trikes flip. But yeah, she's coming along. It looks like she wants to turn purple. Where's it at? Where's it at? There we go. Maybe not so much on that one. And this could be from the light. No, that's not from the light, dude. Is that me, or does it look like it's got some purple hue to it? It looks like it's turning purple a little bit. Yeah, that's not from the lights, dude. As far as like reflection or anything like that, you know. I see a little bit of purple at the top. Not so much down here, but definitely at the top. So we'll see how it goes. But this plant's coming along. The pH to this res is at 6.1. The ppms are at 1170. Excuse me. Let's see, what did I do? I did it yesterday, the day before. I fed my tall plant with what I had in the res, and then I topped the res off with water, RO water, pH of course, and added some PK booster to it. I think I added some, no, I just added PK booster to that. And then I came in today and checked the ppms, and ppms were on the high side, and I was running low. My water had dropped down, so the level anyways, so I topped it off with RO water, pH, and then added more PK booster, and actually added some CalMag and some silica, but at lower doses. I'm not going to be giving this thing full doses anymore. Probably no more. I don't know if I'm going to be using any more flower newts. Maybe one more. I don't know. Probably not. If I do, it's going to be a low amount. Okay. I'm mainly focused on the PK booster. I've been giving it 3 mils of CalMag per gallon this last feeding, this last res, and I topped it off at about 10 gallons, and I didn't even give it, what did I do? Or maybe it was, I don't remember. I only gave it a certain amount of silica too, a lower dose. Like I said, I'm trying to back off on the nutrients, get my ppms down low, so the plant starts to fade out as soon as possible, make it easier for me to flush, but it shouldn't be that big of a deal during flush. Or to flush this plant out. It's only in a 1 gallon pot. So look at all that shit down below, dude. I kind of am regretting not chopping that stuff off. I mean, this is going to be larf, dude. They're dense, don't get me wrong, but that's larf. I was hoping it wouldn't be this bad. I mean, like I said, it's still got 2 weeks to go. If I had Mammoth P still, these would be better. And if I had to if I was able to run my lights at full power, there wouldn't be any lark down there. It would be all decent sized nuggets. So it is what it is, though. You know, when the weather's hot like this, you can't always run your lights at full power. I don't have an air conditioner in my garage or in my tent. I want to get a mini split for the garage itself, so I can keep the garage temps around, I don't know, 70 degrees all year round. And then all I have to do is worry about ventilating my tent when it gets to a certain temp. You know what I mean? I might even keep the garage cooler, but I don't want to keep it so cool to where when I open the doors, it could affect the growth rate and maybe herm out my plants or whatever. Anything stupid like that, you know? So that's what I was thinking, like 70 degrees might be a good temperature, maybe 65 at the lowest. I'm leaning more towards 70. So I don't know how much it's going to cost for a mini split, but I figure for my garage, I got a 2-car garage, but it's deep. You could fit 2 cars in the normal way, and then you could fit 1 more car in sideways if I had a door over there. And probably a couple motorcycles. So, you know, it, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I probably need, like, I don't know, 15,000 BTU mini split, maybe, something like that. I don't know, I have to look into it a little bit more, but I definitely could use one. I want to get one of those AC Infinity ACs for your tent, but I don't know. I might, like I said, I might just get a mini split and cool the garage off itself, or if need be, I can run the AC in the tent, right? And if it gets hot in the garage from that shit, I can vent out the garage. I don't know. I guess I got a couple of options. But something needs to be done. You know, I run my dehumidifier, my big one, in the garage, and it keeps the humidity down. I've done this before in a closed environment and didn't have a dehumidifier in the shop, but I built a grow room at my last place that I lived in a shop, and it was all sealed, but I would ventilate out into the shop, and I didn't have a dehumidifier. And it got so humid in that shop, dude. I mean, shit started rusting. Water started dripping from the ceiling. Thank God nothing was insulated except for my grow room, and of course that didn't get humid in there. So I learned a big lesson. You gotta have dehumidifiers. You know, if you're ventilating into some place, if it's not outside, you gotta have a dehumidifier in there. Otherwise, you're gonna have really high humidity and a lot of condensation that you don't want. It can cause mold and shit like that. So if you have a car in there and you got an aluminum block, it can make the block sweat and cause corrosion on it. That's my BMW was sitting in the shop, and the humidity was so high I didn't realize it. My block on my BMW is sweating. It's an older BMW, but still, it was clean. You know what I mean? So now I've gone and scrubbed a lot of it off, but since then, it was years ago. But you can still see some stuff in there that I haven't gotten to yet. But yeah, I was pretty upset about that, so I am not making that same mistake twice. So, but yeah, man, this little plant's looking nice. Quite pleased for what it is, you know what I mean? Granted, I've done better. But I usually don't flower out plants this small. The only reason it's so small is because, well, it's a slow grower, the other one's growing faster. But my height limitations in this tent. So I only got, the way it sits right now, maybe a foot between the top of the plant, excuse me, and the light. See what I'm saying? So I wouldn't want to get any closer at 100%. This plant doesn't want to burn, which is good. But the other plant is burning or bleaching, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, dude, this one's pretty freaking frosty, I'll tell you that. Nice. Can't wait to smoke it. We'll make for some nice pre-rolls, some joints, whatever the fuck you want to call them, some blunts. I like smoking flower over doing dabs. I used to like doing dabs a lot, but I've noticed as I've gotten older, I don't know if the dabs are getting stronger or what, but they make me dig way too deep, dude, like emotionally, and I don't like that shit, dude. I just want to chill and relax. I don't want to dig up shit from the past and fucking dwell on it. So I notice when I smoke just some flower, like buy a pre-roll from the dispensary or something like that, it's exactly what I need. The dabs are just way too much for me now. So I won't be making any BHO or anything like that out of this. I may look into doing some live resin. I've always wanted to try and make some, but we'll see. Might just stick to flower. There's not gonna be a whole lot here. You know what I mean? Like I said, this plant's got a lot of larvae, unfortunately. But I figured there'll be, you know, I don't know, 2 ounces when it's all dried, maybe. Which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. It'll be quality cannabis. So, let's look over here at the tall one. Now, I've noticed on this plant, she's got some brown freckles starting. Look at that. And I was like, that better not be pests or something like that. And it's not. There's nothing on the bottom of the plant. See? Those are the rust spots. So it's not from insects. I'm thinking, I don't know what kind of deficiency it is. I'm going to have to look it up. This thing was getting overfed. And then I went ahead and flushed it and got the pH where I wanted it and shit. And now she looks like she's getting a little deficient. So it's fine, it's whatever. I'm gonna start flushing this one. She looks like she might be purpling out a little bit too in places. I don't know. Maybe it's the light. Oh, that's sticky. I don't know. To me, what you think? I don't know. This one's not really purple. I think it's the light. I don't know, maybe this one's got a little bit of a purple hue around the edges. But yeah, you can see like this right here, that's from being overfed. She was definitely getting overfed. This one is in a pot. It's a 1 gallon pot. And then I pulled it off the flood and drain table because it's too tall. And so I put it in a 10-gallon pot with cocoa, thinking the roots are gonna spread out. And they never did. So that thought or that idea is no bueno. It didn't work. So I'm using the Hydro Halo because it's easier for me than sitting down and fucking bending over and getting on my knees while this thing waters, you know, until I got runoff. So I just plug in my hose and let it go. But it'll get fed one more time. And then that's it. Then she's going to get a pure flush. Once she's dried out, I'll give it what I have and some of what I got in the reservoir. And then, yeah, like I said, that'll be it. That'll be time to flush. We're not going to get as much. Well, I might flush them with the PK booster. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'm not the greatest at flushing. I always get fucked up at this part in the grow. I either don't lower the nutrient levels soon enough, like I'll run full strength way too long. It'll take me too long to flush. But in the past, I wasn't doing what I'm doing now. I wasn't watching my ppms. I was overfeeding, burning my plants. You know, I did a good job, you know what I mean? But I think a lot of it, I was winging it. And I have a green thumb, you know what I mean? So some of the stuff comes by naturally for me. For whatever fucking reason, I don't know. My great-grandfather was like that. My mom's like that. So my grandma, not so much. She would kill anything. So maybe it just got passed down. But yeah, so now that I'm paying attention to the ppms and all that shit, things are getting a little bit more intense for me. I'm trying to make sure that I don't have any fuck-ups, make any mistakes. And I kind of did that on this one by overfeeding, letting it get too big. See, she's burned in places. But like I said, she didn't quite get a flush. Well, yeah, no, she did. I did flush it out. Because the ppms were at like 3,000 on this motherfucker. So yeah, I did flush it out. So that's what's going on here. I think that's why it's got these brown freckles. They're not everywhere, but they're everywhere. You get what I'm saying? They're not right here, but they're right here. Okay? So I gotta look that up. I'm pretty sure it's a deficiency of some sort. And that is because, like I said, I flushed this plant. I brought the ppms down to, what was it, 1100? Maybe around 1100. And the pH, I can't remember what the pH was at. I want to say it was like between a 5.5 and a 6. But yeah, she hasn't been fed since she's been flushed. Hasn't needed to. You can see it's still looking quite wet, or moist, however you want to put it. Some people don't like that word, moist. But it's whatever. So yeah, I'll probably, yeah, this cocoa is still pretty wet. This cocoa in here, still pretty wet, so I'm gonna let it go probably one more day. It's been really hot, so I'm surprised that that's not dry, because I flushed it like 2 days ago, but I flushed it a lot, so that's probably why it's still wet. So I had to use the shop vac in the tray a bunch. I dumped my shop vac out like 3 times, I think. 2 to 3 times. I think 3 times, yeah. Freaking crazy. But yeah, dude, this is a nice sized nugget right here, man. Look at that, boy. Hands are shaking, sorry about that. But yeah, dude, it's not too bad. Not too shabby. But I'm glad I caught the burning in time, the overfeeding. I looked at the color of the leaves, and they were clawing, like this one. Okay, and they were dark green, like this, but maybe even a little darker. This is starting to get the little rusty spots on it. Not much, but it's there. But yeah, so I knew it had a nitrogen toxicity. As you can see, it's starting to yellow out down here. So I know that I flushed it and got the ppms down and shit like that, but I'm gonna feed it one more time with some PK booster in it. So can't remember if this got PK booster or not. Or maybe I don't remember. I'm starting to lose my shit here. I don't remember what I did, if I flushed it and then fed it. I can't fucking remember. But I'm gonna give it some of what, like I said, some of what's in the res after it dries out some more, because it's got the PK booster in it to get us a little bit one more boost. And then after that, it's gonna be Flush City. I want to be able to cut these down around day 60, depending on how the trichomes look. But it's just starting to get too damn hot outside to be growing indoors without having an AC for the garage or the tent. If I had an AC for the tent, actually, you know, I could leave the doors open, but I don't want to, man. I don't like fucking bugs getting in my shit, getting in my garage. I had a massive fucking alien spider in here one night, early morning, made me shit my pants. Killed it with a fly swatter. Well, I damaged it, and it left a bunch of guts behind, and sure, it crawled off in some corner and died, but the amount of guts that it left, it couldn't have survived that. I still haven't found the body, but it shit freaks me out, dude. So I sprayed bug spray like everywhere in the garage. On top of the tent, on the walls of the garage, on the garage door, fucking, I mean, everything, bro. Outside, on the ground was soaking wet of bug killer. So yeah, I'm not fucking around with that shit, dude. They get really big around here, and especially this, well, just all times of the year, dude. They get big, and I don't like it. I fucking hate that shit. I lived in California for a lot of years, and we dealt with some big motherfuckers down there, but they weren't so present. You know what I mean? Where I live, like they are where I live now, here out in the rurals, dude. It's like they fucking are on steroids out here, dude. It's crazy. But yeah, man, this plant's coming along. It says she's gonna get fed one more time, and then that's gonna be it. She's pretty frosty. Not super frosty, but pretty frosty. Yeah, dude. Wish I had a magnifier for this phone so I could show you guys what the trichomes look like, but I'm not rich, I don't got it like that. But yeah, they're looking good, man. I'm quite pleased. So anyways, let's check one thing out real quick over here. So let's check the numbers. CO2 is 476, 88 degrees, way too fucking high, and 50% humidity. So like I said, it's been hot, dude. My lights, it's only on white, and the white's at 100%, and that's it, and it's still that hot in here. It's not good. I don't like it being this hot. I'm gonna have to close this up and open up the garage door to let it cool off in here some. I don't know what else to do. So I just have to stand guard and make sure no critters fucking come in here. So yeah, man, that's what's going on in the flower tent. Nothing super special. Just starting to get to where we need to be at. So anyways, if you guys have any comments or questions, go ahead and post them. Like the video, smash the bell, and subscribe to the rest of my grow. This is Cannabis Guru. Until next time, peace.